Welcome to Healing with Creativity. I'm Larissa Russell, Creative You. And this week we're doing an emotion collage. And I realized after I wrote this, that this is very similar to what Kansi Sinde did in our retreat just recently that we held in August. I guess it's not that recent now. We're going into October right away here. But I didn't even think of that when I wrote it. And so it wasn't until I was getting the supplies together that I went, wait a second, this is really similar to what Kansi did. So, but this is what artists do. We take ideas from everybody else and create them again. And so if you've done this, great. And if you want to do it again, excellent. Anyways, so today's emotion collage. So this is about, we talked about self-care this week in the blog. Self-care includes acknowledging our emotions. And the more we stifle our emotions, the more they grow and sort of get out of control. And that's why we have so much anxiety and depression and things like that, right? And stress. And so if we can allow ourselves to feel our emotions, whatever those emotions are, and just let them flow through us, they will move on, right? And so this is just one small process that can help us do that. So I have chosen the word calm today. And in hindsight, I mean, I've already ripped up my paper and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you that. But in hindsight, maybe I should have chosen something like angry or something, but I really wasn't feeling that. So, but you can choose any emotion to work through it. And you can do all the emotions. You don't have to stop at one. And so I'm going to show that to you. And you just need magazines, a glue stick, and paper. That's it. So yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so I'm going to create my emotion collage. I'm going to just take a piece of, I'm going to use, this is just a cheap watercolor paper, 300 GSM, I think it's 140 pound, that I got somewhere, I think Winners or something. So I'm just going to use that. Mixed media paper, watercolor paper, they're really good because they can take a lot of moisture, so the glue stick, or if you use matte medium. So I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces so that I can make more than one. Did I do? Nope, totally didn't do half. Obviously, measuring, not my strongest suit. So let's see what it is this way. So it should be 4 and a bit. Did a little better that way. Okay, so I've got 4 pieces now. This is a, good Lord, 8.3 times 11.7. That's where I got confused. So this is an A4, which in Canada we don't typically do that. We have 8.5 by 11, we have 8 by 10, we have 9 by 12. So this one threw me off a little bit with its 11.7. No worries. It doesn't really matter if they're the same or not. So I'm just going to pick one piece. And what I've done is I chose the emotion calm. So I chose the emotion calm, and I went through a few magazines and I picked out colors, and like this one is, it looks like trees reflected in water. Yeah, it totally does. Lilacs, I love lilacs. This just seems like such a calm dining space. Carrot cake to me is comfort food. There's just something comforting about snow. I live in Canada, so you kind of get used to it, but just like, look at how beautiful that is. And it's obviously not that cold because that lake isn't frozen. Ice cream, that's a comfort food, isn't it? I might use that for something else because I just love the colors of it. But I loved it when I saw it. Oh, warm cups of like hot teas and things. And this one was turmeric, which made me think about looking after yourself. You know, these ones I did more for color. The sereneness of the desert, yoga. For me, water, so this beach. Again, color. Just took pieces of color. And then again, the snow and the scenery seemed really calm to me. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get out my glue stick. I find this is Elmer's. I don't know if you have this elsewhere in the world. This is a Canadian thing, I believe. I'm just going to throw a little bit down on there. And but the purple Yoo-hoo ones I really enjoy as well. I'm just going to tear off pieces of this. I'm not actually going to cut anything. I just want to, I'm just going to put some on the back as well, but I also put some, it's not a very big piece, so I'm just going to put some glue on it. I think I'm just going to, and I'm not worried about going off the edges. I'm just going to cover my card in what means calm to me. Just keep going. And so I sat with that for a little bit before I started tearing. And then just as things popped up, I grabbed them. I didn't worry about explaining it. I just grabbed what I thought. When I sort of felt that feeling of calm, I grabbed it. So whether it was a color, a pattern, a scene, a food, none of that matters. I'm just sticking them all over my card. Even though this is really dark, to me this is really a calm color. It's like the color of night. So I really liked that. I'm just gonna put that off the edge a bit. I'll trim those edges later. I'm not too worried. Oh, I gotta get some of this water in here. And you, of course, can cut them if it makes you feel better, but it's just about focusing on the emotion. There. Might wait and put the little yoga person on afterwards. Can't decide if I like the sky more or the desert more. I might just do a bit of both. So I'll do a bit of both there. And I'm just plopping things over top, not even worrying. Again, for me, this one's a color that I felt really calm. I'm just sort of putting them wherever I feel like putting them. You don't have to go for a certain color palette or anything like that. Just whatever feels calm to you. And so this one, so many aspects of it, and it's kind of big for my card. I almost want to go right down the center of it. And that's what ended up speaking to me the most out of that. So I did go down the center, but I think, there we go. And again, this mug, I love that, but I think not too sure how best to convey it. I might leave it till last, again, just kind of like the yoga, because it's pretty big for what I have going on here. I don't know. I might leave that one and see. Oh, the lilacs. I definitely want some of the lilacs. Seriously. kind of like the jar with it. I think I might turn this and add the whole thing because I really kind of like that. Because the colors, and I might even add this other piece. See, there's no rules. There's no rules here. So whatever works for you is what you should do. This one too, I kind of like this. I don't know if I like the water more or the trees more. I'm gonna just tear down this one side. Wow, I'm gonna go there. And do the same thing, just kind of the whole thing. So I do like the sereneness of it. I want to cover my whole page, so I'm going to just fill it in with some calm colors now rather than trying to, might leave that yoga bit off because it's not really speaking to me. I like these trees. More of the colors. These calm colors that I like. Fill in some of these spots. Just kind of all over. I actually really like this leaf too. Okay. I think I might, oh, there's a little bit there. Just put a little bit of this. And I want some of the darker green. No, it's not speaking to me now that it's coming together. Ooh, but I like this. This was actually on the back of this one. Look at that. Okay, I think I want some of this pink and blue in there. I have all sorts of random magazines, travel magazines, and I don't know, like how what is it, Good Housekeeping, and so many different types of magazines. I've got People magazine and magazines I've never heard of, because I go to our we have a store called the Reuse Center, and people can donate there, and then you go and you pay $5 for basically as much as you can carry. And so they have boxes and containers and magazines and old photos and old cards and things like that, which is really cool. All right, I think I'm going to call that. And now I'm going to just take my scissors and trim this. You could use your paper trimmer as well, whatever is easiest for you. I'm just trimming that along the back. It's easier if you turn it around like this. And as you can see, the paper is sticking to my scissors because it's still a little sticky. Not a problem. Comes off. All right, so there's my card. From here you can do more to decorate it, write the word. I'm going to actually put a little bit of matte medium on top, just because I don't know, I kind of like the finishedness, if you will, of having the medium over top. You can use Mod Podge. You can use matte medium, you can use watered down white glue, whatever works best for you. I'm just gonna throw a coat on top of this. My brush might have been a little bit wet. And that'll just seal everything down. a little more finished. And I will just quick. Okay, so there we go. And now you can decorate it however you want. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of gesso. I really like gesso for muting things. And being as my word is calm, I'm just going to add a little bit. I know I didn't put this in the supplies, but I just thought of it, and I had some here from another project I was working on. So I'm just going to just mute it in a few places. Really like gesso for that because it's very opaque, but yet still allows you, depending on how you brush it on, to allow the colors to come through. I just want to mute this a little bit to make it a little softer, a little more blended. Just a little bit of gesso. You can use white paint. You don't need to do anything at all. I just had some here and thought, you know what? I'm going to mute this a little bit. Just get a little more calm energy into it. All right. There we go. Now, I think I would like to use, in some similar colors, but I want a permanent marker. So I actually have Sharpies, which are permanent markers. And I think I'm going to use some of them in some, because I often use water-soluble markers. I've got some green, but I want it to be a little more muted. All right. So I have my card now, and I think I'm going to go with other words for calm. So I'm going to write calm. And then serene. Hopefully I'm spelling all these words right. Calm, serene, relaxed. That feels like a good word, relaxed. And you can go in different directions if you want. Calm, serene, relaxed. Pause. Pause seems like a good word. So just taking a pause. Calm, serene, relaxed, pause. Refreshed comes to mind, but I don't know if that's calm. Calm, relaxed, serene, pause, space. Allowing yourself space. I like that. Okay, and one more just to balance things out. Calm, relaxed, space, serene, pause, opening. And calm is sort of like settling in. Oh, settling in. How can we, is there one word for settling in? Maybe just settle. Settle. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And we can do some little shapes and different things on it if we want. We don't have to. It's ours to do as we wish. I want like things that are, that reminds me of water when I see wavy lines like that. It always reminds me of water. And maybe some, maybe I'll do it with pink. I want some flowers. And I just feel so much calmer already. When I immersed myself in the pictures and the colors, and then I put them on, no rhyme or reason, just covered it, and then I muted it out, and then I chose my words. And it just all makes me feel so much calmer. I don't know, green really wants to be the flowers. I'm going to add some more green flowers because for some reason I keep picking up the green and then going, no, I should pick something else. So you know what? Green flowers it is. Some dots. Okay, so that's my emotion card for calm. I like that. And you can make this for any emotion. You know, you could use them as oracle cards. So you just choose one each day, an emotion to focus on. You know, whatever. It's more about the process of creating it than it is about the card itself. But you can definitely do this in your journal. You can do this on these cards so that you have them to use. I was just thinking, I was looking for my corner cutter so that I could trim around the edges, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of ink around the edge. I always like that. And you sort of finish up with some sort of framing it. There we go. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that. I'd love to see yours if you want to post them in the Creative View page. I'll flip back to the other camera now.
So I just finished creating my calm card, and this is what it ended up like, right? And the process was actually very calming. Choosing the colors, I did do the magazine choosing beforehand so that, you know, you didn't have to watch all of that, but I just ripped up the pieces and added them. I did add some gesso, and the markers I did put in the optional supplies, but the gesso I just had handy, and I just wanted to mute it a little bit. So you don't have to do that. And yeah, I think it's a really great way to kind of get out of our head. And so even if you're feeling angry and you want to, you know, bold colors and reds and blacks and whatever means angry to you, do that. Let those emotions through. Let those emotions to come through you in a safe way, right? Allow yourself to feel your anger if that's what you're feeling, and allow it to move through. Don't hang on to it. Don't try to stifle it, because that's when we, you know, we get caught in it, and it's just like cyclical, and it just keeps going and going and going. I'm not saying if you're feeling an emotion that you should take it out on anyone else. I never mean that, but definitely allow yourself to feel your emotions. All right. So I wish for you an amazingly creative day, and thank you again for joining me today, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.
Do you listen to the Creative Soul Healing Podcast? Why not? That's where I interview creatives, healers, and people who have healed with the help of creativity. Each week, a new interview. Learn what people think of healing with creativity. Click the link below to listen or watch the latest episode. You can also find us on all the popular podcast platforms, such as iTunes and Spotify. Check it out today.